electronic, embryonic, harmonic, ionic, bionic, atomic. It will astonish you, it's magical and casual, actual but classical, practical and factual. Embryonic, harmonic.
Is gold. Yep, this picture's painted on 22 carat gold leaf, and I'm going to talk about gold price. So, what is it about gold price? People find it very difficult to understand, and really the only way to understand gold pricing is to look at history, the value of various goods historically, and how that compares to the price of gold today. And the reason for this is that gold price is priced in many different currencies. The standard one is the dollar. Now, this can be misleading because it kind of makes it look that if the price of the dollar goes down, the price of gold goes up. Well, it may do in the dollar, but not necessarily in other countries, and the other way around. So really you need a mechanism, a way of decoupling the price of gold from currency, and the only thing to do with that is to look at what gold would have bought you. And there's a lot of people who do that, and they produce various tables like what the price of bread in gold would be, you know, over the years, and the price of other commodities. But let's have a look, and we'll do some averages and we'll see what it all looks like. Yes, we're going back to 1965. Well, why 1965? Well, it had nothing to do with the massive blackout that crippled New York, which is what this newscast is about. The reason I'm going back to 1965 is it's 50 years now. Industrial techniques haven't really changed that much when it comes to food production over those 50 years, and so things like the amount of labour in a product hasn't changed terrifically in the sort of products that we're looking at, and so that sort of thing will be taken out of the equation. Whereas if I'd gone back much earlier, then there would be large differences in the labour content. So that's why I'm looking at 1965. 50 years just seems like a round number. Yes, I was a complete Thunderbird's nut, and so were my friends. In fact, you wouldn't have seen any of us anywhere except in front of the TV when it was actually on. But enough of all this nostalgia, let's go and have a look at some numbers. So let's see what conclusion we can draw from this pricing of various things between 1965 and 2015. Now, I'm not going to show you this all at once, hence the two pictures. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal things. So let's have a look. Median house price. Well, the average house price in 1965 was $13,600. This is according to the government. Household income, same source, $6,450. Large loaf of white bread, 21 cents. Whole chicken, 29 cents. Eggs, a dozen large, 55 cents. And the most important thing, a 6-pack of beer cost you only 99 cents. Now, in the same period of time, gold per ounce was $35. Now, I have to say something here, and that is that the price of gold was strictly regulated. It was regulated by fiat. It was pegged to the dollar. So the dollar went up and down against other currencies with gold. This stopped in 1972 when the US came off the gold standard. And silver was also regulated, and the reason why the Fed was worried about silver was because you had silver dollars in circulation, and they feared that if the price went much above $1.28 per ounce, although there was huge pressure from industry for more silver and the price really should have gone up, then people would have found it worthwhile to take silver dollars and recycle them. It would cost around about 29 or 30 cents to recycle an ounce of silver. So as you can see, those prices, metal prices at the time, were regulated. However, that doesn't really detract from what happened between then and now. So let's move these 1965 people out of the way a bit, and we can see what's happened. Wow, there's some big increases there, and some things have increased more than others. Let's have a look. So, house prices. Houses have gone up by 1,470.59%. That's a lot. Household income has gone up by 810%. That's not quite so much. Bread's gone up over 1,000%. So as you can see, in the housing and most of the food area, really, the American public has in fact won out, because 810% is greater than 531, 432, 768, with the exception perhaps of bread. So the American public is still a little bit better off in terms of these things, but they have to spend a lot more of their income on housing, and their income, to be honest, hasn't shot up as much as it ought to have done. Now here's the interesting thing. Let's look at gold. When we've looked at the average, which is 861.71%, these items have gone up on average. So what's gold done? Ooh, 3,414.29%. So gold has outperformed inflation pretty massively, like by 2 to 1 really. So gold would have been a fantastic investment if you managed to get hold of some at $35 an ounce in the 1960s. How about silver? That's done well, but it's not done nearly as well as gold. So you can see from this what the value of gold is. The value of gold is it will preserve your wealth. Now, it's a mistake to think buy low and sell high, because there were times here where you were definitely on a losing wicket if you'd have bought gold. If you'd have bought gold, for example, when it was about $600 an ounce and it dropped to 400, you would have lost a lot of money if you sold it. But if you kept hold of it, it's now worth 3,414.29% of what it would have been in 1965, and it's now worth around about $1,200, and you'd make money. But this is not the way to think about gold. The way to think about gold is that gold is not an investment, it is actually a shield against losing all of your cash. Because even if the US dollar goes belly up, gold still has value in other currencies. The only way that you could make gold lose value is to have a worldwide gold standard and peg everything to gold, and peg gold at a very much artificially low figure as it used to be. It used to be pegged at $35, and that's not going to work anymore. And the reason it's not going to work is there is just simply too much industrial demand now for gold. There's also too much industrial demand for silver. So that sort of solution by the World Bank or whoever does this is a non-starter. So the value of gold, quite simply, is wealth preservation. Well, I hope you found this little insight useful. If you did, please like, please share, please subscribe, please favourite, please do whatever you can to boost my channel, because I think I deserve it. Thanks very much. Bye.